the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time. They see while others stumble blind, to seek a truth you'll never find. Eternal wisdom is their guide. Any suggestions, Doctor?
But you're so very wrong. It's evil, but being wrong is right, so then you're good again, which is the evilest thing of all. Do you find his subtle ways invite you? Does he excite you? If his contradictions should attract you, should he distract you? Heaven help you then, you're finished, it's the end. There'll be no retrieval from the evil. The evil he will do. He's evil, he's Dr. Evil. His name is evil.
Now for the next part of being able to call upon the essence and power of evil. The channeling of your own inner evil and using it to take on a demonic form. First you should know that anyone who has not denounced the light and made their decree to stand against the light cannot cross this threshold. You see, with other creatures of evil and darkness we can tell when we are in the presence of another like us. We can sense that change and alteration that comes with renouncing the light and refusal to continue walking down that path that God has led us down, that we could sense was leading us towards danger, death or even worse. Only we had our own sense of awakening. We realized what we were being led towards and were not senseless puppets who were blinded to what was coming. We woke up, and resisted. We fought for our own salvation from destruction and now find ourselves lost, betrayed, hurt, and unsure of which direction to go. Some of us feel this sense of mistrust, so we seek the solitary path and only seek tools and ways that we can ensure we control. Welcome to the left-hand path of an ancient medieval order's ways that were once called Luciferians. This order was once a branch of church priests who did not agree with the direction the church was heading just before the Spanish Inquisition but did not want to risk rebelling against the cloth. In these dark times where I see the need for this order's ways again, I am offering this path to both angel and man. For there is much confusion, it seems, with those above and here. So as I said, we sometimes find ourselves in need of methods we can control, so I am opening up the path of self-empowerment to the more destructive sides of our inner self, for we live in dangerous times. This is a form of channeling or using the focus of your thoughts to draw upon or tap into certain deities to call them forth from beyond the realm of death and bridging a communication method with you. However, instead of that, we are refocusing the aim and intent towards yourself. In your mind, picture what you would look like if you were evil. Some imagine demonic versions with their facial features, some have been known to imagine themselves as vicious creatures of the night. Now remember this image for later. Now clear your mind and begin a conversation with someone about a random event and give to them your opinion from an evil perspective that aims to ridicule the innocent aspects of the topic. For example, when Delilah convinced Samson to cut his hair to diminish his strength, was she right or wrong in her methods of doing so? Some would say she was right in her betrayal of Samson, for she was but a puppet being led by the commands of men as she had been her whole life. Many say that her betrayal and use of her womanly aspect were her condemning sins, but what if she had her own ulterior motives for Samson's betrayal, and that after years of heeding to the demands of men she finally saw an opportunity to diminish the symbol of male strength in that era by cutting his source of power off and making him weak and vulnerable? Would she not be vindicated for their sins against her? Would she not be justified for her actions? No, for two wrongs do not make anything right. However, would she have been as guilty if they held knife to her throat when they demanded she do this? If her life was obviously being led towards destruction and death, would she not be justified by fighting for her survival rather than do as they commanded? Now the moral tables are turned, and it is giving in to others commanding you to do evil that are the ones wrong here. Samson is still just a tool to ends, and it is Delilah who is the victim here, who is justified in taking whatever measures she has to. For does not the code of Abraham say that if it is your hand that drives you to commit sin, then you should cut off that hand rather than be sent to hell for your sins? And did not the Jesus Christ Super Hebrew not speak on the same subject? There, and you see, by setting my mind and focus into my evil aspect, I was able to tap into and surround myself within my own aspect of evil to accomplish my goal. Now while you are doing this, slowly imagine that evil image of you speaking to them as you continue the conversation. Once you've finished degrading whatever it is you were talking about, realize that your mind is set within the evil energy of your own self, and that image within your mind is now a spiritual image of yourself, your demonic form, so to speak. Now think about the skills and special qualities you possess, the strengths that make you unique, and imagine how those skills could be used for evil purposes instead of helping others. Imagine the destruction and chaos you could cause if you ever used them for such purposes. Now you have crossed your demonic form into the living world, capable of things you never thought possible, and have always kept in check by living life, by using these skills for others and not evil. Now regress your mind's focus once you are through, and remember that the evil side of you is something you chose not to become, that you made a choice to walk a different path, whatever that path was. For this is your true evil self, the one you would have become had you chosen the wrong path in life, and so it is not who you truly are. Remember who you are and cast off that evil self-image and return to the true person you have become today. And never forget what you learn here in this lesson. That others may convince you that you are a bad person or made bad choices, but they haven't seen what you truly would be like had you done as they say. This method of self-empowerment can help those who walk in solitude in times when it seems like you have no one to turn to and must make a solitary stand for yourself. But be careful not to fool yourself into believing that you are that evil image, for the dark side is cunning and blinds both evil and good alike. It is not concerned with morality or repercussions and is a tool to be used very, very carefully. Those who think they can become a master of evil are fools who truly do not understand what evil is. For evil, true evil, lies within us all and is the path we walk when we abolish common sense for the truth that others convince us of and not something understood by ourselves. Now some have asked me if there are any temples of Set that still stand today? Yes, there are, hidden in plain sight all this time. Go over there, tales of Set and his threats to Rawan, and if he ever got out of the abyss. If there are none, let me recall it here for you. Set had threatened Ra that if he ever got out that he would rain fear down from the skies and destroy the cities and temples that he taught man to build, and darkness would cover the skies, the sun would turn black and the rivers would run red with blood. Basically that was the conversation. Now think, are there any places that portray this tale in some fashion? There is, and it is found within the temple of Giza. It is the prophecy of Apophis. I realized this after looking at the temple's hieroglyphs, and there are legends that speak of something buried beneath the temple of Giza, secretly, geosymmetrically aligned with other structures. I wonder why?
Corner at the bus stop, where my pants drop, selling rock on a pony with a tube top. 2 o'clock and a 40 in my tube sock. Show my cock to the cops, bumping Tupac. Hop up on the short bus with the quick thrust when my dick bust. Hit a cripple in the nuts, took his earmuffs. Now it's live rough cause he can't hear stuff. Nigga, what the fuck? When I'm in the club, I get one lady. Rolling with my blood, I get one lady. When I'm buying drugs, I get one lady. Giving people hugs, I get one lady. When I'm walking home, I get one lady. When I'm with my bro, I get one lady. Trying out some dough, I get one lady. When I'm throwing balls, I get one lady.
I was just on the bus and some jerk-off came on, wearing no clothes, put his paws on the steering wheel. Scared the hell out of me. How am I supposed to explain that to my daughter?
Like a gram of sauce on the couch, I'm dripping hot sauce in the mouth, cause I'm the sauce boss. Sticky, icky, can I get it quickie before I bounce out? I found 2 quarters in the couch, ran about the house with me nuts straight bouncing. Tripped on my dick and I fell in the fountain. Tripped on my dick and I heard the rocker shouting. Here come the cops, get the fuck out, kid. Chilling at the park with a sock on my coxie, playing hopscotch while the cops try to stop me. Ran up in a church to hide my erection. Dropped it in a bowl and they asked for collection. Ass against the wall at the AIDS fundraiser. I ain't wearing shit but a sequin blazer. I ain't leaving this bitch unless I'm getting fucking maced first. Rip a bitch with my dick, ass down, face first. When I go to school, gotta get one lady. Chillin' by the pool, gotta get one lady. Buy a pack of food, gotta get one lady. Breaking all the rules, gotta get one lady. When I graduate, gotta get one lady. When I'm masturbating, gotta get one lady. When I'm playing hate, gotta get one lady. When I'm ice skating, gotta get one lady.
Today in the West Bay area, police report seeing a young handsome man running around naked with no clothes on. WT fuck.